All right, let's see. Charlotte.
No.
Screen. All right, looks like we're live. Okay. Perfect. Let's get this rolling. All right, today. Perfect. Here we go. All right, today we have a sub-2 deal for a property in Punta Gorda, Florida. $525,000 purchase price, $50,000 entry fee. This is a sub-2 hybrid deal, which means that we would be taking over the existing loan subject to, and we would just be taking over the payments, not assuming the loan, not qualifying for it. So this property has a PITR of $870.56. Excuse me. That's a really low mortgage, actually. And the seller carryback is $300 a month, which the seller's carrying or financing is $392,000 at 0% interest rate. That's a pretty good deal, actually. HOA is $900 a month. That's expensive. All right. Balloon, 7-year balloon for $366,000. So the 7-year balloon means that they want the property to be fully paid off, including the seller equity portion, and looks like they want the existing loan to be paid off as well for the $98,000, which would be likely around $90K at that time. Okay, so you owe approximately $456,000, which is, according to them, they say it's worth more than that now. Okay, all right, so you'd be paying that down for 5 years. Rent $51.30. Well, we're going to be looking at this for Section 8 for affordable housing, long-term rentals specifically. So you might not get $51.30. And I have no idea whether or not that's a long-term rental or a midterm rental. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick recap. $525,000. Seller carryback amount. Let's see. I'll put this right over so you guys can kind of see all the words while I plug in the numbers. So we'll go ahead and plug in some numbers here. Seller carryback amount of $521,000. Where's the mortgage rate? So the sub-2 mortgage balance right here, 96,845.35, 6.49%. Okay. Taxes and insurance is not included. So that needs to equal to 870.56. And then the seller portion is $393,656.34. 0% interest rate. This will start 5/1. And it's going to be 12 payments per year, 7-year balloon. Total monthly payment is $2,612. HOA is $892. I don't believe that. See right here. I want everybody kind of see the details here. So you have $96,845 for the mortgage balance, $870 P&I for the first sub-2 loan is $870.56. Let's see if that comes out to be true. Nope, it does not. Okay. And then they want a 300 payments per month on seller carryback, $250. See, this doesn't line up. So they're saying the payments per month is $250, but right here it says $300 a month. Talk about not checking the details, huh? How do you have $300 up a month up top and then $250 a month on the bottom? That just shows me that you're not really paying attention to the details. All right, let's go and plug in some other details here. So the most I'm going to do right now is I'm going to assume that this total payment of $2,612 that includes the HOA, that's okay, and includes this $600 of tax and insurance. I'm assuming the tax and insurance is going to be a lot higher than this because I'm going to look this up. And when you look at this property on the flood maps, you're going to see that this is literally really close to the super, super high density blue zone, which is, that's a pretty severe flood factor. Even if the HOA insurance doesn't go up, I mean, your insurance needs to go up. So just a heads up there. I think this is going to be a very expensive play if you're that close to the flood zone. But granted, I don't really know the Florida market that much. I just know that when you're that close, I just don't know where the insurance or the flood insurance is going to primarily come from and where the wind insurance is going to come from. Wow. Okay. All right, let's get the county. So let's at least get the fair market rents, because what's most important is we need to get the rent ceiling. So this is in Lee County. So when you go to HUD FMR, you go to Access Small Area FMR, look up FY 2024 FMRs, go to Florida, type in Lee County. This is going to get you the maximum rents or the rent ceiling, inclusive utilities, for that zip code. So this is 33955 right here, 33955, 33955. So you're going to see right here that the rent ceiling for a property in the zip code with 3 bedrooms, including utility, is $2,130, $2,130, which is well short of this number right here. So $2,130, that includes utilities. So if you only have a $60 spread between what the rent ceiling is with utilities and your PITI, that doesn't even include taxes and insurance right now, excuse me. Yeah, why do they keep saying PITI when they just said, hey, it doesn't look like taxes and insurance are included? So this post is just contradicting itself at the top and at the bottom. So hopefully you guys understand from just this example how to verify whether or not the person lists out all the details correctly. And if they list one number here, so let's talk about this, right? They listed out at PITI of 870, but then down here they said, oh, the P&I is 870 and the taxes and insurance not included. Contradictory posts. Then on top of that, they have a seller carryback. What else did they have? Seller carryback of $300 right here. And then they have a seller carry right now of $250. So all these numbers just, they're so different within the same post. That doesn't make any sense to me. So just be really careful about that. So I'll go ahead and I'll share with you right now, like I would rule out this deal just because the PI, not even TI, plus seller carryback, plus the HOA is already 2,070. And if you normally take out, let's say 25% for expenses, you're already going to be in negative cash flow position. Now, when I check the market rent, and I do that by going to the affordablehousing.com, going to the owner section, click on the market rent estimator, put in the address, put in the bedroom count, you're going to see here that on average, the market rent is $2,568. Even if you do $2,568 and you take off 20%, 25% of that, that will at least be about $800. Like that is not, that's not a cash flowing property. So this deal would not work. Now, if you want to walk it through the numbers, let's walk it through the numbers together. And I'm going to do my best just to, because look, the numbers here contradict. So I'm just going to fill in the blank and show you how far off we are. Okay. So for this property, it is how many square feet? 2269. I'm just going to assume I need to repaint the place only because it's relatively turnkey. 2268. Let's do 2200 at $3 a square foot. No landscaping because I'm assuming that's done by the HOA. No roof repair because I assume that's also covered by the HOA. So that gives me with roughly around $8,000. That's more than enough to kind of renovate the property, assuming it's in livable condition. And that's a good reserve to have in place. Now, you saw that the rent ceiling is $2,130. So let's put in $2,130 for now for the rents. Okay. Now, my total payment, let's just use what they used and gave us. They're saying the total payment is going to be $2,612 inclusive of the HOA. So I'm going to come here. It goes 2,612.56. And I'm going to assume this is a wrong number. So I'm going to add an extra $100 here, at least for the insurance. And maybe some taxes that they aren't even calculating because they're just guesstimating here. I'm going to zero this HOA number. At 10% for property management, 8% for, 10% for maintenance, 8% for property management, 5% for vacancy. And that's going to equals to, let's do that. I'm going to subtract the principal, the interest, and the principal. So it equals $907 left over. this property would be negative, assuming I'm renting out this property at $21.30. Yep, that's my rent ceiling, $21.30. I'd be losing $1,072 a month if I bought this property. And I don't even care about the cash and cash return right now. You want to plug in the cash and cash return, you guys can come in here to the section right here. You can say $25,000 cash to seller. You got a $15,000 assignment fee and a realtor commission of $10,000. So that makes this 25 grand. Did I get everything right? Yeah, entry fee is 50 grand. There you go. They got and a 2% closing cost, another 8 grand of renovations, and that's going to make this property negative 18% return on your money. All right. Now, even if you got to the market rate, and let's kind of prove this out, if you got this to the market rate of what it says right, or 2568, 2568. This is not Section 8, obviously, because you got to take the lower two for Section 8. Now, at 2568, you're still losing 2568, assuming you have a 3-bedroom, you would still be losing $735. So regardless for this property, if you are renting out for long-term rentals, according to this, without taking into consideration HOAs, what do they cover for HOAs? They cover on this HOA free internet, free cable TV, it's a golf course. So you might get more because of all these amenities, but you would have to call your local housing authority and ask them, like, hey, do you guys compensate for certain amenities? Like if they came with free internet or free cable TV, would you bump up the rents? But because of how far you're off, like, will they actually bump you up by $700? I don't know. I highly doubt it. And just remember, $700 is just to get you back to break even. So unless you have a alternative strategy for, like, maybe you're trying to buy this property to live there as your prime residence, that's a whole different story. And that would be the only reasons that I would even go about it, because guess what? You're right in the flood zone. So your insurance is only going to keep going up and up and up. And if you're not careful with it, that is not going to be an ideal situation for you to be in, especially if you cannot cover those rising interest costs that will probably outpace your standard of living. So that's it. That's what we wanted to go through today. We went through a deal. And if you saw the process and you understood how to rule out the deals based on your own criteria, you probably would have stopped analyzing the deal way earlier. And that's what we're trying to do. We went through that process, and in this scenario, we found a few issues. One was the numbers within the post did not really match up from top to bottom, literally. And then what we saw was the estimates for the total monthly payment was not higher than what we saw for the HUD FMR, which stands for fair market rents. And usually those rents include utilities. And then we also saw the market rent on affordablehousing.com. And we also noticed that it still didn't cash flow, even when you almost use market rent, even though it was almost like $400 higher. So when you come up with this criteria and you quickly understand, like, okay, this is how I can look at the deal, this is how I quickly rule out the deal, and you stay consistent with that practice, that allows you to avoid burnout. Because what happens with burnout? You typically analyze a lot of things or do a lot of work for no results. And if you don't become protective of your time and your energy, then naturally a lot of people quit. And if you can just focus your efforts on not even being the best, just to outlast most people, because that's what this game is about. If you're able to outlast most other people and do the work every single day, you're going to be in a much better position, because all it takes is 18 minutes a day, and you will be better at analyzing deals than 95% of the country. So do it along with me. Do it alongside with me. Copy the same property I analyzed today using the same spreadsheet, make the same comments, and probably make a better comment or explain the part a little bit better than I did, because that's how we get better together. Because when the time comes for you to pull the trigger, how are you going to feel confident about that decision? The only way I get confidence is by showing myself the evidence of work, of consistency, and just putting in the work even on days when I don't feel like it. It's Saturday. We all want to be hanging out and having fun and going outside. Well, just put in the work first before you do it. This is day 231. If you guys can just copy what I do, put it on your own YouTube channel, don't have to give me any credit. Because when a partner comes across and asks you, like, hey, why do you think this is a deal? You can say, hey, go check out my YouTube. There's 231 videos. And I know this is a deal because I've looked at 231 other deals and they were not deals. Or I've gotten really good at spotting how, or learning the skill of how to spot what's not a deal. Because isn't that a really important skill? All right. I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. I had so much fun going through and analyzing this deal with you all today. I hope you guys spend some quality time with your family and friends today because that's what life is all about. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 232. We're going to keep on analyzing a deal every single day together. And just remember, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments. Simply showing you all the work that I do every single day. Have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow.